Hey everyone, welcome back to Movie Snobs, where we review the newest and best movies of the season. My name is Sunshine, and today we will be covering a reboot of what is considered one of Harrison Ford's best movies. Set 30 years after the original, we will be talking about Blade Runner 2049. For those of you that haven't seen the original movie, the concept behind it is that Tyrell Corporation has created robots, called replicants, that look almost identical to humans, that they use as slave labor on other worlds. The replicants, however, rebel, and they are eventually forbidden from ever being on Earth. If any escape to our planet, there are special agents tasked with tracking them down and retiring them. These agents are called Blade Runners. In the original movie, Harrison Ford is a Blade Runner, and one of the best, who is brought back to track down one last rogue group of replicants. To understand this reboot though, I do have to highly recommend that you watch the original. While the reboot can technically stand on its own, there are a ton of callbacks and direct references to the original that a lack of knowledge of will really hurt your overall experience and opinion of this new movie. So, I highly recommend you go see the original before this reboot. But don't worry, I won't spoil either movie for you. Moving on to the new movie, which I promise not to cover too much of the plotline of. The story ties in somewhat with the original. This new movie stars Ryan Gosling, portraying the new generation of Blade Runners. These agents, however, are new additions of replicants that are programmed to be 100% obedient. Still tasked with hunting down older generations of replicants, Gosling is sent on several missions throughout the movie. The main plotline, however, is the search for a potential child born of two replicants. As the replicants were designed so that childbirth was impossible, this idea becomes very threatening to the image that humans have of replicants, as just robotic slaves and not an actual life form. There are a lot of layers though to this plot, and tons of stuff I could spend hours talking about, but I feel it is a story that is much better experienced than explained. Just understand that a lot of backstory went into this movie's plot, and it creates something truly beautiful. Now, as someone who wasn't a fan of the original when I first saw it, I have a very strong appreciation for this reboot. The style they used to film this movie and the overall feel of the scenes and the characters is very reminiscent of the original and extremely artistic. As someone who watched the original in hopes to see an action movie and was disappointed, going into this movie with an open mind allowed me to walk away in awe. Their location scouting team did an excellent job, as did their graphics department, as there wasn't a single moment where I didn't feel fully immersed in this new version of Earth and the places that they went. The movie was just spectacularly well shot and did a great job of sticking with the same feel as the original. Additionally, the team behind this movie created a couple of short films to bridge the gap between Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049. These small pieces were extremely helpful in understanding where this reboot would go, as well as being just fantastic ways to advertise the reboot, as they were such well-done works. Looking to the cast, they all performed wonderfully. While Gosling did most of the talking, all the supporting actors played their parts perfectly. With a movie like this, it has the potential to have basically all its supporting characters just monologue exposition to the viewer to help understand what is going on. Instead, this cast did a great job to help you understand what was going on without directly explaining it to you, and allowed the story to flow well as you learn alongside Gosling's character about this world. The characters help peel back the layers of the story in a very natural progression, taking the audience along with Gosling. Harrison Ford, Robin Wright, and Ana de Armas created this fantastic supporting cast that, each in their own way, showed a different perspective on the conflicts throughout the movie, and drew the viewer into the overall experience. I think the director did a great job not to use these characters and names too much, as Gosling's character was really supposed to be front and center, which he 100% was.
I know.
Overall, I really can't recommend seeing this movie and the original enough. I truly believe that seeing this new Blade Runner reboot created a strong appreciation for the original, as well as gave me a lot to think about when I left the theater. It was just such a beautiful movie that really didn't depend on giant action sequences or great comedic banter, and instead just presented a fantastic and beautiful story that viewers could really get immersed in. While I am a little upset that you do have to see the original to fully understand what is going on in this reboot, I still believe that Blade Runner 2049 deserves an A rating. Let me know what you think of the new Blade Runner reboot, or even what your opinion is of the original in the comments below, or tweet me at ZTVGoofingOff with the hashtag MovieSnobs to let me know what you think of such an iconic movie. That's all for today though. My name is Sunshine, and this has been Movie Snobs.